Have you ever asked yourself, why should I forgive someone who's wronged me? This question takes us into the heart of the concept of forgiveness, often hailed as a virtue, a noble act of the strong. Yet it's worth considering, isn't it? Could not forgiving, holding on to the hurt, be a valid choice too? Perhaps forgiving isn't always the right path. Perhaps, just perhaps, there's another side to this coin. Let's delve deeper into this question by exploring a compelling story. Imagine a young woman named Anaya who was betrayed by her best friend Arav. Anaya and Arav had been inseparable since childhood. Their bond was as strong as a diamond, unbreakable, or so Anaya thought. Arav was her confidant, her source of joy, her rock in a world that often felt like a tumultuous sea. But then came the day when Arav betrayed her trust. He shared Anaya's deepest secrets with the world, secrets she had only entrusted to him. Suddenly, Anaya found herself standing alone, her trust shattered like a glass vase hitting a stone floor. She felt betrayed, hurt, and above all, deeply saddened by Arav's actions. Anaya had always believed in the power of forgiveness, but this time she decided otherwise. She chose not to forgive Arav. It wasn't a decision taken lightly. It was a conscious choice that she made after many nights of tear-stained pillows and days filled with a heavy heart. The hurt was too deep, the wound too fresh. Every time she thought of Arav, her heart ached, and her mind was filled with images of happier times now tainted with the harsh reality of his betrayal. Anaya was in a constant battle with herself. There was a part of her that yearned to forgive Arav, to let go of the pain, but the other part, the part that was hurt, refused to do so. She was caught in a whirlwind of emotions, a storm that refused to calm. The decision to not forgive Arav was taking a toll on her. It was like carrying a heavy weight on her shoulders, a burden that was hers and hers alone to bear. Every day was a struggle, a battle against her emotions. She was constantly reminded of Arav's betrayal, and each reminder was like a fresh wound. It was a continuous cycle of hurt and resentment, a cycle she had chosen for herself. Anaya decided to not forgive Arav, choosing to carry her hurt and resentment. As time passed, Anaya found her life consumed by her bitterness towards Arav. Unforgiveness, like a slow poison, gradually began to seep into every facet of Anaya's life. It was as if she was carrying a heavy burden, a burden that was not visible to the eye but was intensely felt by her heart and soul. Anaya's decision to not forgive had far-reaching implications that she couldn't have possibly anticipated. Her bitterness became a wall, a barrier that distanced her from the people who truly cared about her. Friendships were strained, family relationships became tense, and potential partners were turned away. Her heart, once filled with warmth and love, was now a fortress of resentment and bitterness. The decision to not forgive also began to stunt her personal growth. The energy she could have used to learn, grow, and evolve was instead channeled into holding on to the past. Her potential wilted in the shadow of her bitterness. She was stuck in a cycle of anger and resentment, unable to move forward, unable to let go. And perhaps the most heartbreaking consequence of all was the toll it took on her happiness. Joyful moments were tainted by the bitterness that constantly lurked in the back of her mind. The light in her eyes dimmed, her laughter became less frequent, and her spirit, once so vibrant, grew dull. Anaya's life became a testament to the cost of not forgiving. So, what can we learn from Anaya's story? Well, the key takeaway is the immense emotional toll that not forgiving can exact on us. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy burden every day. It weighs on our hearts, saps our energy, and clouds our thoughts. This emotional baggage doesn't just affect us personally, but can also strain our relationships. As we saw with Anaya, her inability to forgive her friend led to a rift that cost her a cherished friendship. When we hold on to resentment, our relationships suffer, and often we end up pushing away the very people we care about. Moreover, refusing to forgive can significantly hinder our personal growth. Just like Anaya, we might get stuck in the past, unable to move forward and grow from our experiences. So, it's not just about the other person, it's about us and our well-being. While forgiveness is a personal choice, it's important to consider the cost of holding on to resentment.